Hello, geometry students. Today we're going to be studying parallelograms. The definition of a parallelogram reads, a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. AB is parallel to CD. AC is parallel to BD. Looking at the diagram on the right, which of the following are characteristics of a parallelogram? Place a check mark by each one that is. You will need to draw the diagonals in. Diagonals go across. AD is a diagonal and BC is a diagonal. Pause the video and place your check marks beside the characteristics. Welcome back. Let's go through those characteristics. Opposite sides are parallel in a parallelogram. That's part of our definition. Number 2, opposite sides are equal is a characteristic. Opposite angles are equal is a characteristic. C and B are opposite angles. A and D are opposite angles. Number 4, adjacent angles are supplementary is a characteristic. If you have parallel lines, you have a transversal cutting through them. Angle A and angle C are consecutive interior angles, and they will be supplementary. That's why number 4 is a characteristic. Number 5, diagonals are not equal. Do not checkmark that. Number 6, diagonals bisect the angles. They're talking about the two angles that are created by the diagonal. That is not true in a parallelogram. Number 7, diagonals bisect each other. What that means is your diagonals are cutting directly in the middle. So where they intersect is a midpoint, making AM and MD congruent, and they are congruent. CM and MB are also congruent. Diagonals do bisect each other in a parallelogram. And number 8, diagonals are not perpendicular. Do not check mark that. So we have 5 characteristics in a parallelogram. Now you're going to complete the next problems using the characteristics. I suggest you pause the video, attempt the problem, I'll reveal the answer, and then if you have it right, fast forward on to the next problem. Number 1's answer. X is 43 and Y is 120. When I go to solve this problem, originally, I think I'm going to do opposite sides equal. But when I look at opposite angles equal. When I look at my opposite angles, I have 2 different variables. There may be another way to solve this one. I'm going to look at the 2 that have the same variable. Those are adjacent. Adjacent, add to 180. 3x plus x plus 8 equals 180. 4x plus 8 equals 180. Minus your 8, 4x equals 172. X equals 43. Now I can use my adjacent are equal. 3x equals y plus 9. I'm going to take my 43 and plug it in there. 3 times 43 equals y plus 9. 43 times 3 is 129 equals y plus 9. That's how we're getting y to be 120. All right, move on to number 2. Pause the video, and I'll give you the answer. Welcome back. The answer to that is x equals 2 6/7 and y equals 3 5/7. If you have that answer correct, fast forward through the work. In this problem, you have opposite sides given. Opposite sides are equal. 5x plus y equals 18. 2 variables, you need 2 equations. 2x minus y equals 2. Now you use a substitution or elimination, and you will need to know how to do that for this chapter. When I read down, my y's are eliminated. That gives me 7x equals 20. X equals 20/7 or 2 6/7. Now I need to find my y. I'm going to take this equation, I'm going to plug in my x. 2 times 20/7 minus y equals 2. 2 times 20/7 is 5 5/7 minus y equals 2. Move your 5 5/7 by minusing it. Negative y equals negative 3 5/7. Y equals 3 5/7. Let's move on to the next problem. All right, try number 3 on your own, and then I'll reveal the answers. Welcome back. X is 12 and y is 8. If you have the answer right, fast forward through to the next problem. You have parallel lines here, and they're cut by a transversal. Those two are alternate interior angles, and they're equal. 2x equals 24. X equals 12. Same thing applies for the top and the bottom. They are parallel. You have a transversal. Those are alternate interior angles. Set those two equal. X plus y equals 20. Plug in your x. 12 plus y is 20. Minus your 12, y equals 8. Okay, moving on to number 4. Take a minute and try number 4, and I'll reveal the answer. Welcome back. In this problem, opposite angles are equal, so x is 73. Adjacent angles add up to 180, so 73 plus z is 180. Z equals 107. There's a number of ways to find the y. If z is 107, I would write 107 here, and then I would say straight lines equal 180. 107 plus y is 180. Y is 73. Some students might extend this line and say this line and this line are parallel. There's your transversal. These are alternate interior, and they're equal. So y is 73. Two ways to work that problem. Moving on to number 5. Pause the video for a minute and try number 5 on your own. Welcome back. QT is 36. If you have problems with this one, did you draw a diagram? You have parallelogram R, S, T, V. You have diagonals. They intersect at Q. RQ is 5x plus 1. QT is 3x plus 15. Diagonals bisect each other, so these two pieces are equal. 5x plus 1 equals 3x plus 15. Do your algebra. Subtract your 3x. That gives you 2x minus your 1. That gives you 14. X is 7. Is that what stumped you? You're looking for QT. You have to plug it in here, people. QT equals 3 times 7 plus 15. QT equals 36. Let's move on to the last problem. It's coordinate geometry. Find the coordinates of the intersection of the diagonals of the quadrilateral H, J, K, L with the given vertices. I have here that you can draw a rough sketch, but you will not be given graph paper to figure out the answer. I already have my rough sketch drawn to save time. Pause the video if you need to draw the diagram. Welcome back. All right. I need to draw my diagonals in here. I need to find the intersection point. Remember, the diagonals intersect and are bisecting. That would be a midpoint, people. Midpoint. It is the midpoint of JL and the midpoint of HK. Do you know the midpoint formula? Correct. To find the midpoint, add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, and divide by 2. So if I'm looking at JL, I'm going to take my x's, 2 plus 5, divided by 2. I'm going to take my y's, 3 plus 1, divided by 2. I get 7 and a half, 7 and a half, and 2. All right. Awesome. We'll see you tomorrow.